Hey there. Happy 2016. It's YoBo. I'm back. It's life according to YoBo day 242. How y'all doing? I've been gone a whole month. Whew. I appreciate you all calling me, inboxing me, texting me, emailing me, checking on YoBo. Look at me. Look. Told you all. See my arm in a sling? See, look. So I'm typing with one hand, but I'm at the point where I can use this hand just a little bit. But oh my gosh. I had shoulder surgery. I had a torn rotator cuff. I was in so much pain. I couldn't do any videos because couldn't comb my hair. Still can't comb my hair. That's why I got my little bonnet on, and you'll see me with that on every day. But hey, I'm glad to be back. Pause the Clark sisters. Whoops. Pause. Just a moment. Pause in. Okay. Woohoo. Y'all been following the Mattie, Canton, Bowie series. Let's get back into this. Back up to day 241, and I tell you what, I'll post a link to day 241, so watch that. And then that'll bring you into this message so I don't have to repeat a lot of things. I've had to watch it twice because I've been gone a month, over a month. Okay, so we left off with Uncle Tud had said, let's just go ahead and dissect that. Uncle Tud said she killed herself. She should have been home with her children instead of out fighting that woman. Sound kind of cold, but let me tell you something. When you have had problems, and you have had serious problems, a whole lot of y'all, when you just trying to cope, you just trying to make it, you trying not to kill somebody, woo, can't you tell I've been there, done that? Woo, it don't take much for you to flash back and be ready to hurt. Woo, Jesus. Woo, hold on a minute. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you why you have to forgive. Because every time you think back on that mess, it makes you upset all over again. I have forgiven some folk. I promise you, I'm done with it. YoBo has moved on. And I purposely had to emotionally disconnect myself from that event. Because every time I thought about it, it took me back. And the blood would run warm in my vein. Not even warm, just hot. I'd be ready to pick up the phone, place a phone call, start cussing. Heck, saved and sanctified as I am, Holy Ghost filled as I am, sure enough, sure did, picked up the phone call. You low down dirty. Finally, I had to say, you know what? I ain't doing this no more. That's the whole purpose of forgiveness. We tend to think, well, I'm not going to forgive them after what they did to me. Forgiveness don't have nothing to do with them. Forgiveness disconnects you from whatever happened 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. You still living that stuff. You still recycling that stuff over and over and over. Sometimes you got to do whatever you got to do to disconnect yourself emotionally. That's what Uncle Tud did. Everybody I talked to said Tud Canton, Bill Canton, and R.D. Canton was ready to kill your grandfather because they felt he was the cause of their sister being dead. So now Uncle Tud has to live with this. Okay, then I learned, see, there were 5 siblings. Got a little itch right here. See, look, I try to put my little hair out here. The rest of my hair is a mess, but I put this little piece out so I won't look so bad. And it's just tickling. It's just coming down and it's tickling me. Okay, Tud, R.D., and Bill. My grandmother's one stupid decision, fighting her husband's girlfriend. Now she got 3 brothers that's almost on their way to the penitentiary because they're ready to kill somebody. I just learned in December 2015 that my grandmother's one sister had a nervous breakdown. I'd never heard that before. Well, of course, I wouldn't hear because we don't talk about this stuff. Uncle Tud is the youngest child. Uncle Tud, I believe, had to figure out a way to cope with this. How do I cope with this? Because I'm so angry, I could kill McKinley Bowie. I could just put my hands around him and choke him. I can get a gun. I could drive all the way to Jasper. I can kill him. Let me tell y'all something. My mama's people had money. They all had vehicles. Let me tell you how much money they had. My grandpa Dick, my great-grandfather, shot a white man. Back in those days, when you shoot a white man, you hanging from a tree that night. Grandpa Dick shot the man. He got 5 years in the penitentiary. Somebody got paid off. They either got land or they got some money. It was no problem for Bill Canton, R.D. Canton, and Tud Canton to either kill my grandfather or pay somebody to kill him. Wouldn't have been no problem because they had it like that. So how do you live? How do you function when you're so full of anger? You refusing to forgive. And a lot of times when we're full of anger, it's justified because somebody did something to us. How do you function? Uncle Tud had to come to the decision that she killed herself. She should have been home with her children. Had she been home taking care of her children instead of out trying to fight this Negro's girlfriend, none of this ever would have happened. That's what helped him to cope with it. He took his eyes off McKinley Bowie. So does that mean he has to forgive McKinley Bowie? Maybe he did, because Grandma Lula told all of them, you have to forgive. Let me read this to you. Tell you this. Oh, let me go back here. Let me find it. Stay there. Hold on a minute. Okay, in my mother's journal from July 1992, where she writes, I know it was this woman and my dad who killed my mother. My grandmother and my uncles did not want us to hate anyone. But all the grown folks told me that my mama's uncles hated McKinley Bowie. But Grandma Lula, about once a month, our grandmother would tell all of us to sit on the back steps. She would allow us to say what we thought, but she had the last word. The same word Grandma Lula told the 4 children with the dead mother was the same message Grandma Lula told her 4 children. You must always forgive. You must always love. Never hate anyone. Never talk about your mother, not even to each other. If someone asks you questions about your mother, say, I don't know. Because if they talked about their mother, they were going to hear more of the story. Just like now. In the last few months, I've been placing phone calls. Now, I've been hearing stuff that I never heard before. Grandma Lula told her sons, you gotta forgive. You must forgive. I'm gonna tell you later how Grandma Lula practiced what she preached. Because I heard something about her and I said, you know what, I'm done with this story. She all right with me. She practiced what she preached. Okay, now let me go ahead. Let me read you something else. Then now, let's jump ahead. This is my mother's journal from 1993. I just read you something from July 1992, where she's remembering. Grandma Lula said, you must forgive. Because in her mind, the doctor has her writing it. And she says, now I know it was my grandfather and this woman that were involved in my mother's murder. But Grandma Lula said, you must always love. You must never hate. You must forgive. I believe my mother's 3 siblings went to their grave hating their father. My mother was the only one who found peace. And let me tell you how she found it. I'm jumping ahead to April 23rd, 1993, where she writes, Lord, even though I may have hurt feelings, I will never hate again. My request is, Lord, forgive me, for I knew not then that hate is the sting of death. This is kind of deep. For a lot of you all, it will take years for this to sink in. Excuse me, because what Mama's telling right here, excuse me, y'all, drinking my little water, apologize. What Mama's saying right here, this kind of deep right here. But it's the truth. I knew not then that hate is the sting of death. Hate will kill you. It will eat you from the inside out. While you mad because somebody touched you, who shouldn't have touched you. Somebody lied to you. Somebody impregnated you. Somebody wrecked your car. Somebody borrowed money, didn't pay it back. All these things that we continue to replay over and over in my mind, in our minds. I knew not then that hate is the sting of death. Y'all better take this from YoBo for free, because this right here is a lesson I had to learn the hard way. I read this and I didn't get it. Lord, forgive all my trespasses, even as I forgive others. There is freedom in love. Cleanse my heart and fill it with love. That's got to be your prayer. When you carrying around family hurt is the worst hurt. Hurt from those who are closest to you. That's the worst hurt. Because there's some things people did to me I wouldn't do to a dog. But as my mama says, forgive me as I forgive others. There's some things I've done to people. I've got to say, Lord, forgive me for what I have done. I want you to focus on you. Just you. Not what they did, but I want you to focus on you. I want you to do like Uncle Tud. What can I possibly do? How can I see this situation so that I can disconnect myself emotionally from the pain? What happened, happened. Uncle Tud didn't deny that. What happened, happened. His sister is dead. The way he disconnected himself from the pain was by him telling himself she should have been at home with her children. None of this would have happened. What can you do? How can you look at that situation? What can you pull out of it? It might be something positive, or it might be something that's just as painful, but at least it's going to help you disconnect yourself. And if you're at a point right now where you are unable to disconnect yourself, it's okay. Stay there. Don't try to do it, because you'll tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do like YoBo said. I'm going to disconnect myself in the name of Jesus. No. It has to be your will. You have to have your mind made up like, no more. I ain't going down that path anymore. That right there may take you years. It took me 5 years to get to that point where I said, doggone it, enough is enough. I'm not giving no more of myself or no more of my thoughts to this anymore. I could be doing something productive instead of me just hitting that rewind button. Somebody called it mentally F-U-C-K-I-N-G yourself. And I ain't trying to be gross or nothing like that. But you know what? That's the best way to say it. You just mentally screwing yourself over and over, replaying that stuff in your mind. It ain't good for you. And the person who done you wrong, they ain't thinking about you. They gone on about their business, either dead or messing over somebody else's life. Woo! You ain't got to try to get even. Just do like mama say. There's freedom in love. Cleanse my heart and fill my heart with love. Say that with me. Repeat after me. Cleanse my heart, Lord. Don't say it. Cleanse my heart and fill it with love. And fill it with love. Honey, won't he do it? Shoot, yeah, he'll do it. I'm a living witness he'll do it, because he sure did it for me. And, get my song, while he's filling it with love, honey, you'll move past that situation. You won't be thinking about them. Better take it from YoBo. Only reason I'm not in jail is because I didn't own a gun. Well, y'all, life according to YoBo, day 242. Thank y'all for coming back. Come back tomorrow. We're going to finish talking about the life and death of Mattie Bertha, Canton, Bowie. See y'all. Bye-bye.